everybody. It's Tina, and I am here with Allison and with Pam, and we've got a really yummy recipe that we're going to make tonight. It is our Shamrock Shake Cheesecake Bars. Yum. Doesn't that sound delicious? So I'm going to turn my camera down a little bit because I want you guys to be able to see exactly what we're doing. We're going to cut off our heads, but that's okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to whip up some whipped cream, and we're going to be using our whip and mix. I love the whip and mix because it's like having a little electric mixer. And so, wow, let me just tell you, it is awesome. You'll see that in just a minute. So you lift this open and you'll notice that it's got the little beaters. And as you turn the beaters, look at that, very super easy. I also, while it's clean, I want to show you how to take it apart to actually wash this because this all goes in the dishwasher. So you'll notice that there's little teeth right here. And your little teeth are going to go into the little handle sections just like that. So if you put it on the right spot, you know that it's now going to be locked in. So basically this little tab is right over the handle. And then here you'll see it's on lock and then there's an unlock. So all you're going to do is using your hands, you're going to twist this so that it moves from the lock to the unlock. And that allows you to take this whole thing apart. Super, super easy. And like I said, it all goes into the dishwasher. So to put it back together, you put it on unlock, and then you're going to turn it, boom, just like that. And now, guess what? It's all locked back together again. All right. So another thing that's fun is after it's all messy, you can actually take this over to the sink and turn some water on and spin these little blades a little bit just to get the big goop off, so to speak. Okay. So what the first thing that I'm going to do is we are going to make some whipped cream. We're not buying that stuff that comes in a jar. So we're going to put this in. My whipping cream looked lumpy just now. It's not bad. It was actually a little bit frozen, which is good because you want it super, super cold. So what you do is it's got a little rubber gasket on the bottom. You're going to set this on the counter, put your hand right here, and we're going to turn. Now there's two speeds to this. You'll notice right here, there's one little line, and then the other one is over here. And this is going to help in turning things. So I'm going to put Pam to work on this, and she is going to turn that for us. And while she's doing that, we're going to work on the next step. So we're going to be using our supersonic chopper. Yeah, let's see. Let's make sure we got it in there, and you're going to put your hand right on top. Okay. There you go. Hold that in place. All right, we're going to use our supersonic chopper. So it has a really sharp blade, which I always keep this on. And even after this is dirty, I put it right back in the blade because you don't want to put that into the sink. And we need to chop up some cookies. So this called for some Oreo cookies. And so here's I don't have all my ingredients right here. I'm like looking. So it calls for Oreo cookie recipes, but I decided to use Oreo thins with the mint inside because we're making this kind of St. Patrick's Day. So you're just gonna drop your cookies in 3, 4, 5, 6. It says about 2 cups. So I'm not really sure what that is going to look like. So this is probably going to be about 1 cup, and that might be enough because I think we're going to have the recipe today. Sometimes I have recipes, depends on how many people we're making this for. All right, so now what you do is we're going to put our collar on. Again, same kind of concept. You put it on and give it a twist to lock it in place. We've already got this in place. You're going to line up the little middle gadget into the little stem and lock that in place. Hands on top, got that rubber gasket. We'll give it a couple of pulls. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to come back here. We're going to see how we're doing. And we need to change the speed here. Let's see if we can whip that up a little bit. We'll have you keep going on that. Okay, how are we doing? Oh, we need a little bit more fine than that. Okay. Oh. All right, our next thing that we've got to do is we need to add a little bit of butter. So again, I'm going to cut my recipe in half. This recipe calls for a whole cup of butter. We're going to just put it in the microwave and melt this. How are we doing? Has it become whipped cream yet? Let's take a look. Not quite. Hmm. I don't know why it hasn't whipped up for us yet. Let's see what.
On the same speed.
Yeah. All right, we're getting close.
Okay.
About another 5 seconds. So we don't want to melt our butter into too much. All right, so how does this look? You can get a nice thin look to it. Oh, I'm going to do it a little bit more. We want these to be nice and crunchy, almost to the texture of graham cracker crumbs.
Okay.
So that we can mix that. Is it looking good?
Yeah, it looks good.
All right. Have my
Do it more.
Nope, I'll let you do that. All right, so now what we're gonna do is, wow, look at that. We'll put that off to the side. And we're gonna take our whipped cream. We don't have a lot because we don't need a lot for what we're doing. We're just making a couple of little yummies here. We're putting it in another bowl. And the reason we're putting it in another bowl is because I'm going to use this container for something else. So I'm using my silicone spatula to get this out so we get every last bit out. The freezer so it stays nice and cold. All righty. How we doing? Is that good? Yeah, looks good. Oh, I probably need another little bowl. Can you grab me another little bowl out of that cabinet down there? Yeah. This is perfect. All right, so remember we have a sharp blade. We're going to put this right back in, dirty and all. Okay. And we're going to grab another special small. No, medium. I'm sorry. So, thanks. All right. We are going to put our crushed up Oreos in here. And I think I just did too many because I'm having this recipe, you guys. So I'm going to make sure that I kind of have to measure.
2 cups, so
Is it called for 2 cups?
yeah, so just we need just 1 cup.
Okay, so you need 1 cup. All right. So there's a half a cup and there is a cup. So do you remember how many cookies I put in there? So no, I don't remember. But you're gonna count if you go. Good job.
How about 3/4 of one roll?
3/4 of a row. All right.
Where is it?
We're gonna put our melted butter in, and we'll let you stir that around a little bit. How's that for a plan?
That's good.
Meanwhile, oh, and then have the whipped cream in it, so we're gonna use it again. And it's not super clean, but it doesn't matter. So we're going to just dry it out. How's that looking? Looks good, huh? All right. So our next job, good thing we have all these many hands, is we're going to divide this up into the little cups, okay? And then press it down kind of firm because that's going to be our cookie crust. All right, so now we are going to just take probably about half of this since we're half in the recipe. So this is just regular cream cheese. And then our recipe calls for powdered sugar. And we need, I'm trying to look at that lower recipe. That's okay. It says a half a cup. So we're going to put 1/4 of a cup. So I have a half cup measuring cup and we're just going to fill it up to a halfway spoon. Okay. And we also need, what else do we need? Got to read my instructions here. Some vanilla extract. And we're cutting this in half. And then we are going to put a little bit of mint in there. mint extract to make it nice and yummy. Okay. A little goes a long way. And we got the powdered sugar in already, right? So we can put the seal on. So we have our powdered sugar is in our modular mates. And that way, gosh, if you don't bake a lot, it'll keep it fresh for quite a long time. All right, so let's grab some gloves for you. You probably just need one. And then you can press that down so it's like really, really nice and firm. All right, and next, oh, there is one more thing we need. Super, super important. I thought it was here. You see oh, here it is, green food coloring. So we are going to put just a couple of drops of green food coloring in this. Work with my gloves on. There we go.
I love this too because
yeah, yeah, it's so much easier to hold, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So same thing, we're going to put this in. We're going to line up the little notch there. So this is a really thick mixture. Now, that's why I'm going to put it on the 2 because that helps with the thicker type of batter. And we're going to mix that all up. All right, let's take a look and see what we got. Oh, look how pretty that is. Do we want it greener or is that green enough?
Greener.
You want it a little bit greener? I don't think I made enough. Maybe I should go ahead and mix more. Yeah, I think we should. Because we want to make sure we fill up enough of those yummies, right? We're just going to go ahead. I said half the recipe, so guess what we're going to do? We're going to do it all over again. Can you give me a fourth of a cup of that since I already put in a fourth? I really thought we didn't need to double the whole recipe. So that means this is going to make about 6, which it lies because I think it said that it made more than that. This is a bar recipe though, just so you know. So that may be why. So I'm adjusting it and making it in our cups instead.
Tina, can I ask you something? This is half a cup.
So just do half of it. So because we want a fourth of a cup.
Thank you for teaching me that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you notice that we're using a scoop to do that because you never want to pack your flour or sugar or anything like that in there because it doesn't measure right.
Does that look good?
Perfect. All right. So that means we need to put some more green in because we added all that white. We want it nice and green, so I added lots of extras. All right. We're about ready. So this is a no-bake cheesecake. So there's no eggs in it. That's why I love this. First of all, if you don't like eggs, still got cream cheese, so it's not dairy-free, but still. All right, so I did it on the hard level, and now I'm going to put it on this one right here. Oh, it's still pretty thick. Yeah. There we go. Oh, it looks so pretty. All right, so watch what I'm going to do. I'm lifting this up and I'm going to spin this inside, not out because it'll go all over the place. Have you ever done that before? Like, oh no, there it all goes, right? Okay, now we're going to scrape off some here because there's a little bit more than what I want to just throw in the sink. All right, so guess what we're going to do now? We're not going to lick these.
I was going to say.
I know, very tempting, and you could because there's no raw eggs. Did you used to lick the batters when your moms made cake when you were growing up? Like I did too, and now they're like, never do that. There's raw eggs, you get salmonella. The things we used to do, and we survived. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now there is a little bit of green up on the side that I splashed, so I'm gonna kind of stir that all together. Oh, you guys, this is so pretty. So I had a drop, but I just cleaned this countertop off, so it's nice and clean. You were going to stitch it, weren't you? Yeah. Is that what was going to happen here? All right, so we're going to put some in each of the cups, maybe. And then this, you're just going to put in the refrigerator. I think I just
smash it down.
Yeah. Because we need it to firm up a little bit. so that you can actually eat it.
My mouth is watering.
Oops, we got a lot of white there. I didn't get it all mixed up in that bottom. There's always a little surprise sometimes. Yeah. Now, you don't have to put the whipped cream on these. You could actually just put some crumbles of the Oreo again on it. That would be cool. Or you could put the crumbles on top of look at now, I still don't have enough for 6. We'll steal some of each one to make enough. These are pretty big cups. Now, these are silicone baking cups. This is actually not in our line right this minute, but I believe they're coming soon. Fingers crossed. Because I kind of got a sneak peek at our recipe in our next catalog. And I kind of think that you need this. So if this is something you think you want, there we go. You want to make sure you let your consultant know. Pam, next time you get the messy job with the gloves. Okay. Just take some over there. There we go. So we're going to top it with our whipped cream. And what a mess I made. Kind of go around the edges so it looks kind of pretty. These will form up, and we'll put our whipped cream on top. You can sprinkle some of the is it yummy? You can sprinkle some of the crunchy cookies on top. You could put whipped cream on top. You could put a whole cookie on top as a garnish. Maybe we'll do that. So we will definitely come back once these are done. You'll notice that I have these on a firm surface because you can't really pick these up very easily. So it works better if you just keep them on a firm surface. So we're going to put this in the refrigerator. When they're done, we'll come back. We'll do a little reveal and show you the final product. All right, we are back. So we made it a little bit more whipped cream because guess what? We didn't have enough whipped cream. So all I did is whip it in here and kind of swirl it around and do the last one here. And then we're going to decorate it all up. So these can be made ahead of time. You can also make these and freeze them. Because I made them in the silicone, you really don't need the little paper wrappers because it just pops right out. Let me just show you. As you can see how that's going to pop right out for me? Isn't that awesome? Whoops. Now that I popped it out. So, but you could put these in the little paper wrappers inside of this tray, and then you could freeze them. They're delicious that way. There you go. Let's get our last little bit of whipped cream. And then Allison's going to come behind. And remember, we didn't use all of that chopped mixture. So she's going to come behind and she's going to sprinkle a little bit on each one. Look how pretty. Aren't those gorgeous? Yes. And then we're going to stick a cookie. Kind of, let me have one. I don't have a glove on, but that's okay. I'll make sure I eat this one. And we're just going to stick it sideways just like that.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that cute? Yummy, yum. Now, here's what's so fun about making these is if you were to go to a local bakery where they made these, you pay like $4 each.
Yes.
Right? So it's great to be able to make them at home and save money. And just think about the ingredients that we used. Oreo cookies, which, you know, we always have Oreo cookies on hand here. We had cream cheese, heavy whipping cream. You could not make homemade and you could buy store-bought if you wanted to go that route, the squirt kind. And we had some vanilla, some mint flavoring. I mean, pretty much things that people have on hand. I mean, if you bake a lot, you'd have it on hand. Confectioner sugar. So that is the finished product. All right. Thanks for joining us.